angels, how is everyone? It's nearly midnight here, and I'm being honest, I just got out of bed. I was thinking about you guys, and I thought, you know what, I can't sleep, maybe other people can't. So, if you're new here, thanks so much for giving me a chance. Please feel free to hit like and subscribe and comment, it helps my channel grow. And I am having issues with YouTube. I was unable to upload a video earlier today, which worked out better because I didn't actually like it in the end. And then suddenly, within a 2-minute span, I lost like 55 subscribers, even though on the actual channel it says I still have them, so I don't know what's going on. And I don't really, the numbers never matter to me. It's about reaching you guys and connecting with you guys, so that's what I care about. I'm trying a new background. Somebody had said that they found it too complicated, some of my backgrounds. So what I wanted to talk about as well today is to thank everyone for the reaction to my role play with Serenity, the provider, not a witch. I got a lot of great feedback and I really liked it. Thank you. I worked hard on that one. And she may be making another appearance in October, so stay tuned for that. But I did get emails from a few people who picked up on one line in that video, and it was about that one has to grow, change, and evolve. And people were asking me, and like I say, more than one, about what that means and changes they're facing and changes I've faced. So I think what I want to impart with you guys more than anything is what I've learned. I'm in my 50s, I'm 56, I own every one of those years. But I didn't know this in my 20s, in my 30s, maybe even my 40s. I think when we're younger, everything is finite and ultimate. You know, we have to do this or this. This has to happen, so this has to go put away. Evolving is a slow process. It's not an overnight thing. Change is to change and to grow. It doesn't mean we leave everything behind. And I'm not talking about toxic relationships. We've talked about that before. Toxic relationships you need to put aside, okay? Your mental health is most important. But I've talked about my childhood before. I didn't have the healthiest relationship. My parents were really good at giving us roots. You know, we all knew where we came from, but wings, not so much. No wings. Wings were discouraged. So it took me a lot longer to figure out how to fly, if that makes sense. But guys, you can fly. You really can. You can change. You can make changes in your life. Just don't leave the people who love you behind. It's okay to go from having them be your center to all of a sudden you need to be your own center. You need to fall in love with you. You need to figure out where you fit in the world. Okay? I like to think of it as a circle. And when we're younger, our family is in that circle with us. They still can be, but they have to understand that to grow, you need to push them more to the outskirts of that circle. They're still there, and you can still pull them in and talk to them about that. Tell them that just because you're leaving home doesn't mean you're leaving them behind. People who move across the country, that's scary. That is really scary, and I give you kudos for being brave enough to make that kind of a move. But there's ways to include people you care about. You can have a dinner night where you FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or whatever. We all learned that during COVID. you know, and if you see something great, or you discover a little diner, or you really like this corner bodega, or you really like this store, tell them about it. Include them. But live your life. And just let them know that you're discovering you for a bit. And that has to happen. And you'll all come back together. You don't need to worry about that. Again, not talking about toxic relationships. But I think the biggest thing, because I remember a friend who's 10 years older than I am, but far wiser than I could ever be. And she said to me once, why does everything have to be ultimate for you? Everything has to be an ultimatum. If she does this, I'm never speaking to her again, or that's it, I'm cutting off all ties with this person. And I'm like, I don't have to always be like that. I just didn't know any other way. I grew up with yelling. I grew up with a lot of anger around me. So I didn't know the healthy way to express my feelings. I didn't know that you could keep people around you and still grow. For me, I had to kind of go so I could grow. But then I brought them back in. And my mom and I had long conversations about that before she passed. And, you know, there were things I did in my 20s I regret so much with my family. I wish I could go back, you know, and change that, but I can't. It's what happened. I own it. It helped make me who I am. It's one of the things I'm trying to save you guys from, because I really do want to stop you from experiencing any pain or struggle. And if I can save you from making a mistake I've already made, I don't mind. Okay? Because there's times now, especially with my daughter, you know, she's almost 18, and there are days where I look up and I'm like, okay, Mom, I get it. I understand now. But it's not just that. It's sometimes you have to change for jobs. You have to move across the country or into another country, and that's hard. But what I want you to understand, guys, and really hear me on this, it's an adventure. Enjoy it. Live it. Some adventures are a little boring, some are a little exciting, some are a little both. Everything is ups and downs in life. We're on a giant roller coaster, guys. And if you've made this big change, especially if you've moved for college or university, or you've gotten married, or you're in a new relationship or a new job, first of all, it's okay to sit there one day and go, oh, I've made such a mistake. What have I done? Everybody feels like that sometimes. Everybody. You know that person you look at who looks like they have it all together and they know everything? They cry in their bathtub too, or their shower. We all feel that way. But if you really believe that you've made a mistake, talk to somebody. It's okay. Help somebody help you get perspective. But otherwise, enjoy it. Meet new people. And that's hard, especially if you're introverted. But that's okay. Join a club where you have like interests, because then you know you already have something in common. What else can you do? A community center. They have all kinds of things you can do that are very inexpensive. Classes you can take. And if you're already interested in it, you already have something in common with everybody else there. If there's a corner shop near you or a corner coffee shop, hang out there for a bit. Meet people. You'll be fine. I have faith in you. I know you can do this. You've got this. It's what change is. But the thing is, change doesn't happen all at once. If we're lucky, it doesn't. But it's also growth and evolving. That's all part of a process. That's it, a process. We are all works in progress. And that's what you have to remember. We're in progress. That's all. And what have I always said? If we make a mistake, it's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. If you learn from it, it's a lesson. I have lots and lots of lessons I've learned. And, you know, there are times where I look back and I could never imagine where I'd be right now. Never. It all worked out. I remember one time I was at a crossroads and I didn't know what to do. I had trained to be a nursing assistant, a healthcare aide, they were called at the time. I think now they're called PSWs. And I was working, I had did my practicum in a nursing home on the total care floor. And I learned a lot. But I had also, every 6 months, I always applied to the city where I worked, where I lived, sorry. I always wanted to work for the city. The same week, I got the 2 calls. I got the call for the city, and I was told that it was a temporary position. Maybe it would go permanent, but there was no choice, no guarantee. And I got the call from the nursing home where I worked. They wanted to hire me, and that was going to be a permanent, well, 3-month probation, but then permanent. And I had to really, which way do I go? I went with the city because it was with a sexual health clinic, and that really interested me. The idea of working with teens, and even though I was on the administrative side of it, it still, I was making a difference. I would have made a difference there in the nursing home too, but this one just appealed to me. I met my husband because of a contact I made there. There was a lady who had a store in the mall where I worked, and I ended up talking to her, and I ended up on a blind date with my husband, and we had my daughter. So that crossroads, I made the right choice for me, and I wouldn't have known that at the time. It took me a long time to figure it out. Where I am in my life now, I did not expect to be 56 years old and on a medical leave with a chronic illness that I have absolutely no control over. I didn't know that I'd be feeling this helpless. I didn't know that I'd be battling's not the right word. I'd be dealing with mental health again, that I would be on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. But you know what? Yeah, it's who I am. It's part of me. I'm not broken. I'm dealing with it. I talk to some. I'm taking medication. I'm getting help. And I never in a million years would have suspected I'd start a YouTube channel and meet you guys. And y'all keep telling me that I'm helping you, but you help me so much too. I keep saying this, but it's true. We just make the world smaller. We're connecting. That's why I love the comments, guys, so please keep them coming. But yeah, I know that if you guys are at a crossroads right now, you've got this. You can do this, okay? You have more strength and courage inside you than you'll ever know. And I know that, okay? Because we already have something in common. We all like ASMR. And we like helping each other. You clicked my channel, so I know you already have something in common with me. So I like you already. But you know what? It's a connection. It really is. And even if you're struggling with something, by looking for positive things, you're trying to help yourself. You're already doing stuff. You don't even realize that you're smart and courageous and beautiful and kind. And I know that you're all of those things. I do, because I see you and I hear you and I get it. I've been there too. And I really, really just want you guys to know that I care. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a professional. I'm me, but I've learned all of these things. And in the video with Serenity, the provider, not a witch, we did talk a bit about your inner child, about letting them come out to play, about mending fences or bandaging wounds. Guys, you can think I'm nuts if you want, but there are times where I actually visualize talking to the younger me. There are so many things I wish I could have told. You know, the 12-year-old that was so badly bullied. I wish I could have just held her and said, this isn't you. This is them. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to change. Or gone to the 20-year-old and said, relax, take it down a notch. You know, take a breath. Not everything has to be intense. I grew up with intensity. I don't have any intensity anymore. I let all of that go. I wish I could have seen the 30-year-old and said, wait, just wait. Good things are right around the corner. Or the 40-year-old who had so much loss at the beginning and just say, it'll come. What you're waiting for is coming, and you will get through this. You will get through it. I promise you. No matter how bad what you're going through right now, it's not permanent. You will get through this. There is a light. And the light is inside you. Everyone's like, oh, the light's at the end of the tunnel. The light's inside you. I see your spark. I know it's there. You shine so bright. You really do. You are beautiful. You're kind. You're smart. You're practical. You're spontaneous. You're fun. I would want to be your friend. You're not alone. You are not broken. You are not damaged. You are you. And you are enough. You always have been, and you always will be. And I love you. I value you. I honor you. And I'm so very, very glad